Hey friends, happy 4th of July. It's Gina here from the Gina McDonald team with Melanie Roy. And we had a few quick mentions for you if you're considering a home purchase. It's actually a really good time to consider a home purchase. And we have a few different ways to help you, even though the interest rates haven't dropped significantly. I know Melanie's had a few creative loans that she'd like to go ahead and share some details on.
Yeah, absolutely. Over the last few months, we've definitely worked with a couple of different lenders, and we've been able to use a lot of different creative financing. One in which I didn't know about is a physician's loan. So if somebody is finishing up their residency, but they have their letter of where they're going to work after they graduate, they can get a physician's loan from certain lenders, which usually is 0% down. Of course, you have to still bring some money as a deposit for the purchase, but then that's going to be credited back to you at closing. So that in particular is one that was a little newer to me that has worked really fabulously for some of my clients.
And the rates are actually really good on that too. So there is a 0%. There's also a 1 to 5% for physician's loan. And what they do is they change the debt to loan ratio because they are expecting your income to grow over time, and they compensate with a lower interest rate. So please reach out to Melanie if you have any questions about that. She would love to give you answers and help you find the perfect fit if you qualify for a physician's loan. What are some of the other loan types, Melanie?
I would say, of course, there's some different government-backed loans. In the state of Connecticut, you have the Connecticut Housing Finance Authority, which both has conventional and FHA options. And then you have your more traditional FHA and VA loans for veterans through. So those are government-backed. Those typically have low or no money down, and usually some favorable interest rates as well, just depending on the program.
Mm-hmm.
The other that I just utilized, actually two that I just utilized, one is a jumbo. So a jumbo, instead of a conventional mortgage, it has to do with the limit, how much you're buying. Typically it's somewhere above, say, like $800,000. Every county has a different limit. But jumbo loans, if you are purchasing in that, let's say 850 to $1 million plus range, has really favorable rates right now. So if you're close to that threshold, it actually might behoove you to look at something that's a little bit over the threshold of a jumbo, so that you can get that jumbo rate instead of the conventional.
Purchase price amount be close to?
It could be. It depends on how much you put down, but I'd say let's just call it like about $1 million plus if you're going to put down about 20%.
Okay, and my understanding is the last client that you worked with on this got somewhere around 5.99, which is huge right now.
Yeah.
5.99
Absolutely.
For their interest rate, and that was a 30-year fixed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We've also seen something somewhat similar in ARMs, so like adjustable rate mortgages. Depending on when you buy, obviously you're sort of hedging on, will the rates go up or will they go down? At this point, a lot of forecasters don't think that the rates are going to go up too much more. So for certain qualified folks, it's really interesting to look at an adjustable rate mortgage for like a 7-year, and then they can look to refinance after that.
Which is an excellent option. There's also, we just want to make sure that everyone in a category of 0% down knows what's available. So we have a 0% down for first-time home buyers called Time to Own. And that one will actually give you a type of a forgiveness grant. So it's an extra loan that's forgiven over a 10-year time frame, and it's up to $25,000 that you're gifted with a lower interest rate. So that is something to ask us about. Only certain lenders can do that. Their 0% is also for our veterans. So thank you, veterans, for all you've done for us. We have 0%, and we have different options for interest rates and also for your funding fees. And then the final one is our USDA loan. And that qualifies in certain areas. The zip codes are not always for the whole area. Sometimes it's a street in that zip code. But to learn more about that, we do have a couple of lenders for 0% USDA loan. And you don't have to be a farm to do that. There are some income qualifications on the USDA and also the Time to Own loan. But if you reach out to us, we're more than happy to help you navigate those waters.
Yeah, absolutely. I would also add that there are some lender partners that we work with that, depending on what town, at the moment I'm talking specifically about Connecticut, There are certain towns where you can get a rate reduction and closing costs. Perhaps if you're moving to like an area of opportunity, an area that they're looking to regentrify, things like that. They have programs to lower your interest rate up to 0.5 point, and anywhere from say like 500 to 5,000 in closing cost credits.
Mhm.
So those are really excellent to look into if you're open to a bunch of different towns and you're looking for a reason to go to one town over another. It's really good to look into if there's any programs like that that are town specific.
And so those are the opportunity zones that she was talking about. Those are decided by the different governmental districts on where they're located and what types of benefits they're offering to buyers. But we try to stay on top of that with different lenders that work with our opportunity zone options. So just reach out to us. We're happy to help you.